Hello and welcome to the Hotkeys podcast. This is the show where we talk about everything pop culture and random in the world. I'm your host, Mick, and today I'm joined by...
Landon Browning.
Jesse Bich.
And
David Parker.
welcome to the show, guys. It's not January. It's July 23rd.
Yep.
2022.
Yeah, Jesse's back on the show. He was in prison for a couple years. So.
Use a microphone, apparently.
But he's back.
It feels weird.
It feels weird.
I feel like I missed out on a lot of stuff not being on the podcast.
Whose fault was that?
Am I allowed to say whose fault it is?
Yeah, it's your fault.
Why is it my fault?
Colby is moving today.
Swinging.
And Will is... We don't know where Will is.
Probably sleeping. Let's be real. He's probably sleeping.
Well, he messaged like really late last night saying he wouldn't be on. Which so probably means he is sleeping.
That's fine. He doesn't have to be here every week. It's okay.
Yeah.
Will's a busy boy. He's got lots of stuff going on.
Sign of wealth.
It is a sign of wealth that sometimes he has to miss the show. The grind never stops. Will's all about the side hustle.
So, Jesse,
Yo.
welcome back to the show.
Yeah.
Hey, guys.
Update us on your life, Jesse.
What have you been doing for the past 6 years?
Has it been? It's
you
not
were-
been that long.
You were on at least once back when we recorded at my apartment.
At your apartment, yeah. Just a lot of stuff.
You would have been working at Jones Reed still, correct?
Yeah.
The greatest place on earth.
Because
It's where champions are made.
that's when you moved, right?
That is when I moved, yes.
Yeah. Went to Boise,
For
which is
time.
which is ironic because Colby is going there. They flipped places. Colby's going there.
Flipped lives, too.
Colby's essentially going there for the same reason that Jesse went to Boise, also for a significant other.
For a
Yes.
woman?
Yeah.
For a woman.
Hopefully, Colby's goes better than yours does. Hopefully,
I feel like there were a lot of things leading into that, though.
yeah.
And not podcast worthy to talk about.
Ooh. Yeah, Landon.
I'm sorry. Just comparing the correlations between
Yes.
events.
I see no similarities.
I did talk to Colby a couple weeks ago when we went out to dinner.
Yeah.
Yep. And we started talking about how when I lived there, I was originally talking about getting a scooter, and you guys like all trashed me for getting a scooter.
You were going to sell your car. Let's preface this. You were going to sell your vehicle.
Okay.
And use just the scooter as your main form.
Yeah,
of
it wasn't
In
just
my
about
defense-
like having a
You weren't adding
supplemental
it.
scooter.
You weren't adding a scooter. You weren't like, I'm just going to buy a scooter for fun. You're like, I'm going to sell my car and buy a scooter to save gas money. And I was like,
In my defense, I would have only driven like
You don't drive a scooter. Don't say you would have driven the
then
scooter.
why did you walk to work? Like,
because walking would have taken longer, and
it would have saved the most gas, though.
my
Landon
Lamborghinis
has
are
a
broken, so we're not gonna talk
Lamborghini?
about that. My Lamborghinis, my Chevrolets.
Oh, gosh.
Boo.
Wait, is that what you call your? Is that what you call your
Back
lower
when I
body
was
parts?
actually walking, yes.
Wait, back when you were actually...
I used to walk everywhere,
Okay.
and I only got a license because I was forced to.
What? How old were you when you got a license?
21.
Oh, jeez, dude.
Yeah. I hate driving.
And you wanted to buy
a
a scooter? Wouldn't that be way scarier?
Okay, so a scooter tops out at 18, 19 miles an hour if you're going downhill.
Yeah, but I bet that feels a lot faster.
It feels way faster.
Yes,
And
'cause-
like just the slightest like miscalculation, you're flipping that thing.
yeah, or if you get hit by somebody, you're dead.
Yeah.
And you're also the person that was like, I want an electric unicycle.
okay.
Oh yeah, we can talk about that.
That's fair. Okay. I did want an electric.
Those things are
unicycle.
way harder to, to get a hang of.
I was actually I actually went down a YouTube rabbit hole when I was looking at unicycles, and I watched people crash on them, and they looked pretty brutal.
Yeah.
And then I stopped wanting a unicycle.
Yeah.
I mean, we tried
Why
to
would you
tell
think
you
it
that.
would-
Like
Yeah,
we
like-
basically tried to warn you that like if you want to end up like ground beef,
Yeah.
then sure, get a unicycle and take it on the highway.
I would not take a unicycle on the highway, although it is possible.
So you thought about it.
So you don't like driving because you find it like kind of scary, right? Like,
So the whole reason I don't enjoy driving, I would rather defer driving, is because if I'm just being honest, I don't pay attention quite often.
yeah, you really shouldn't.
And
Yeah.
I'd rather not put other people's lives in jeopardy when I drive. So
I guess on a scooter, you're only putting your own life into jeopardy because you're not going to kill anybody on it.
Yeah.
Head-on collision with a car, he just like ruins everybody.
Yeah.
There's no seatbelts on a scooter, guys.
Well, couldn't you instead just learn to pay attention when you drive a car?
Yeah, there's that. And I also...
The most like obvious choice to make here is just like
Be more aware.
of your surroundings.
Yes, and I also... I don't know. I just don't like driving because it's scary and I get anxious when I drive. So
Did you get pulled over because a cop thought you were like drunk or something, but you were just like a bad driver?
yes, I was a bad driver.
Wait,
to tell that story?
Did this really happen?
I
I think
love
so.
to hear
Yeah,
the
go
story.
ahead.
Okay, so I got pulled over. I had probably had my license for about a year, and
So you were 26.
sure. And I was just driving down the road, and I went to pull out my phone to change a song, and then I threw it right back under. And apparently, I was weaving in my lane, and I got pulled over by Highway Patrol, and the cop asked me if I had been drinking or if I was high when I was driving, and I said no, obviously, and he didn't give me a test or anything like that. So,
He just took you at your word.
I mean, yeah, I also have cerebral palsy, so
Did you tell him
if I
that?
do
You
get,
tell them that?
yeah, so if I get pulled over,
You just tell people that? You just like hit and run somebody like, oh my God, you can't arrest me.
no, but it does help because he wanted to give me a sobriety test or a field sobriety test, and if I tell them that I have cerebral palsy, they kind of approach it differently.
Can't they just like have you like do the alphabet backwards or something?
I can't do that sober. I feel like a lot of people
Can you know
can't do
anyone
that
who can do
sober.
that sober?
Can you do it sober, Landon?
I don't know if I can.
Z.
Y, X. Now I know my.
Alphabet backwards. It's way difficult sober.
So he didn't even give you a ticket. He just said, "Oh, like he's like, oh, like, well."
He gave me a warning and basically just said,
What was he warning? Like,
Stay-
don't have cerebral palsy anymore, or
No, he was because I was weaving. I weaved in and out of my lane,
Oh, dude, I do that all the time.
and
That's no big deal.
he basically was just
Cerebral
like,
palsy.
he was basically just like, make sure you stay in your lane. And I was like, okay. Which I don't even know if Highway Patrol can pull you over on city streets.
I was gonna say I wouldn't have stopped. Highway patrol doesn't count. Keep going.
I feel like I could have gone to jail for that.
Oh, you have cerebral palsy.
Cerebral palsy.
they can't put you in jail.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want.
The sign of wealth.
It's a sign of wealth.
Sign of wealth. Cerebral palsy gives me everything else ever in life. That's
Yeah.
a long-running family joke that I have cerebral palsy, and I can
Really funny.
Just about
But you do have it, so
Hilarious.
it's not a joke.
Wait, I was gonna say, isn't it not a joke? Like,
Yeah, but like I'll give my family excuses as to why I can't do anything or I can't do something, and it's usually always related to I have cerebral palsy in some way.
but if you
Also,
don't
like, hey,
do
Jesse,
the
could
thing,
you take
then-
the trash out? And they're like, no, I have cerebral palsy. I can't help take the trash.
Oh, there's a huge cat.
Do you actually-
Care.
I
big
can't
cat.
see out the window. So,
Very nice looking kitty.
Tiger.
Yeah.
what was your question?
Tiger in the jungle. Having a big cat in your backyard is another sign of wealth.
Especially when you don't own it.
Yeah. It's just here because it wants to be around you.
For your
It wants to be
cat.
around
It
money
recognizes the wealth.
and smell the
So,
wealth.
so a big
Says-
cat appears in your backyard. Is that a sign for you, Landon, that you're supposed to buy that new cat PlayStation game or something?
I think so.
Oh, the stray
Stray?
game.
Stray.
I believe in fate.
It was the correct color.
It was, yeah, an orange kitty.
What do you do in that game?
You just hear a
play.
cat.
You just play a cat.
It's like in a
and do cat
cyberpunk
stuff.
world, and there's like no other living. Everything else is like robot
You
type.
do like missions for robots and
Yeah,
you explore.
Is it like
it looks really fun.
like a simulator game, or like there's like real like things?
There's
like,
actual
like a
gameplay.
story, or
No, it's real gameplay.
yeah, there's like side quests, collectibles. Like, yeah,
You can jump on stuff,
Mm-hmm.
but you can't jump on everything. Which
You
is
can cough up fur balls. You can mark areas.
yeah. I'm probably
Can
gonna buy
you-
it.
Scratch
lick
you can
yourself?
scratch your owner.
can you lick yourself?
it's
I
4 to 5 hours, like in total.
I could beat that in a couple.
I'm not that flexible, Dave.
There's a trophy in it for beating under 2 hours, so you can speed run it.
Speed run it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Once I beat Elden Ring, maybe I'll pick it up. You know.
How close are you
actually, I
to
would know.
beating Elden Ring, Landon?
Oh, I'm probably a couple hours away.
You beat the first guy, didn't you?
What do you mean
The
Oh my gosh,
what's his name?
the dude on the bridge?
Yeah, the bridge guy.
No, I haven't beaten him.
Oh, I thought you did. Okay.
Margit the Fell Omen.
No, I haven't beaten him. I've gotten him
Put
down
your
to like half
foolish
health.
ambitions to rest.
Yeah. I can't beat him yet. I've beaten a few other like just like mini bosses and like the overworld that I found in like hidden areas.
Yeah, you'll just find
Dungeons are really
caves
fun in that
and
game.
and like bosses just in the world and stuff that you run across.
I like the game a lot because I feel like there's more like bonfire save points than the other games I played.
They're
There are
everywhere.
so many.
And I like that because, and I feel like a lot of them, like you'll do a dungeon, and then like once you, like I had a dungeon where like there was a locked door, and then I made my way through the whole dungeon, and at the end of the dungeon, there was like a lever that unlocked the door, and that's where the boss is at, and then you can go back and save, and so like you can really, you can die and
You don't
respawn.
have,
You
you
can
don't have to
essentially
do
just
like
keep
long
doing-
runs to bosses.
Yep. Which is nice because I hated that in those other type of games. Because like, you
Bloodborne
would do
was
a
like the
45.
most egregious.
Oh my god, I hate it.
You would have to do like 45 minutes of like a gauntlet of enemies, and then like you'd get to the boss, and be like, "Well, I got hit too many times by."
Yeah, I have no more blood vials.
I'm down to like
so-
my last 3 blood vials. I hope this goes well.
Yeah. So game's better, but I just don't have that much time to
Well,
play
I guess
it.
you've been working like this week in particular, right? You worked probably
Yeah.
like 70 hours or something.
It was close to that, and then I was on call this last weekend, so that was like another 60-hour week. So maybe this afternoon I'll play a little bit. Probably not though. Very busy.
Elden
amount of
Ring.
time
What
on
other
my phone.
plans does Landon Browning have on a Saturday?
I don't know, hanging out with the girlfriend. It's a little bit more fun than Elden Ring. Elden Ring's a pretty great time, but
You have to say
Megan's
that.
wig.
She listens to the show.
Megan's way cooler than Elden Ring. But back to Jesse.
Mm-hmm.
So you moved back to Spokane,
I did.
and you worked at FedEx for a while.
I did.
Said screw those guys. Went to a employment screening place.
I did.
Said screw you guys.
Yeah, pretty
Or
much.
they said screw you.
They said screw me.
And then now you're going back to FedEx and saying, hey,
Yep.
Unscrew
Bring
you.
unscrew you.
Yep, pretty much.
Yeah,
But they made me a promise that they probably won't keep this.
they
thing.
never do. They
No,
never do.
probably not.
Most places will say whatever they have to say.
To get you on the payroll, and then
Yeah, it's a sign of desperation.
Not a sign of wealth.
It's not a sign of wealth.
It's a sign of depression and sadness.
You do seem like a sad man.
what?
Well,
You're strange.
And you have my pity.
Farewell. So where is the FedEx office located?
closer to my house.
That means
That
nothing.
Well, freaking hate you.
It's so well. I used to work at the one in the valley, which was like half an hour away from where I live, and then I requested to be moved to the Division store, which is like 15 minutes closer.
Okay.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's down by like Taco Bell and
Oh,
the Sportsman's Warehouse and Lowe's and stuff.
oh, you're all about that.
Yep.
Taco Bell every day for lunch.
Taco Bell ruined me now. I cannot eat Taco Bell.
Yeah, it's probably
It ruins a lot of people.
yeah. It's like
It's a side effect that's on the like the outside of the building
yeah,
before
like
you walk in.
yeah,
like-
you eat it like because you're
This
eating.
will ruin you.
It's
You're
a
eating
side, it's a
paste.
side effect of wealth.
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah. The wealthy eat at Taco Bell. They eat the whatever the paste they put in there.
Ugh.
No, I used to. I
It's
used
like
to eat Taco
50%
Bell.
sand.
Yeah,
I used to eat Taco Bell like every day.
I love sand.
And then
It's
I had-
coarse and rough.
Yeah,
It gets everywhere.
I haven't had Taco Bell in like months.
I mean, you have to keep
Taco-
eating it for it to have an effect on you.
I had Taco Bell for the first time like last week. I got one of their like super cheap meals, and then like 10 minutes after I ate it, I was like on the toilet, like
Yeah,
dying.
sounds about right.
ugh, no,
I like their cheesy gordita crunches.
it's good.
Those are good.
I like about everything on their menu. My favorite
I
thing
like it
though
when I'm
are their
eating it.
my favorite things are
Cinnamon
the
balls.
cinnamon balls are my favorite.
Yeah, those are
Cinnamon
good.
balls. You guys aren't fans of cinnamon twists?
I don't really like those that
I
much.
like
I
the
think
They're
they're
cinnamon
kinda
twists.
overrated.
Cinnamon
like,
twists.
Once you have the Cinnabon balls, you can't go
can't-
back.
I have not had cinnamon balls.
But the
You guys-
Cinnaballs
They're
are more
so good.
expensive than the twists.
Yeah, you're such a cheapo. Like
a sign of not
sign of
wealth.
wealth is when you go and you order like the 8-pack
Yeah.
Cinnabon balls.
Do you know what the cinnamon twists are made of?
Sand.
No, they're actually made of pasta noodles.
How did
makes
they
them,
like
like,
fry
less
them
appealing.
or something?
They just take. You should look it up on YouTube. So they take like the spiral noodles and they just fry them and they get all huge, and then
I love a huge
dip them
fried
in
noodle.
cinnamon. Yeah, they essentially coat them in brown sugar.
Did you say they're overrated, Michael?
Oh, they're totally overrated.
Yeah,
You don't like them, or they're just?
I think they're overrated.
They're not great.
I feel like they're underrated. I feel like
Especially
people
when you
don't
compare
get
it
them.
to the. I feel
That's
like
'cause they're
most
not-
people get 'em.
they're
they're
not
not-
good. They're not the cinnamon balls.
Cinnamon
not-
balls are top tier.
Yeah.
They're the MVP.
Also, cinnamon twists aren't actively on the menu. You have to ask for them. It's like the secret menu.
No,
Aren't
it's
they like?
not.
Isn't that the
It's like part of
standard
side? It's like a side
dessert thing that they have?
I mean,
It's what poor people get.
poor life.
But I like the cinnamon ones.
You're a
Cinnamon
cheapo,
twist.
dude. Like,
You drink off-brand soda when you
I
we
do
were
not
kids,
drink off-brand
like,
soda.
all the time.
No, I don't.
Yeah, but okay. So that was
When I was
so-
15, I drank off-brand soda.
So, but when we were kids, right? You guys used to always buy off-brand soda.
Correction. Dave and I never bought anything. Our parents bought off-brand stuff,
And what did they tell
Mr.
you?
Pibb. No, or
exactly the
is it?
same.
No, it's
like all the Shasta stuff.
yeah.
Sam's
Sam's
Yeah,
Choice or whatever.
Dr. MD Thunder.
Yeah.
Which I don't know. Some of it is fine, but when you taste like a real soda,
So-
it's hard to compare.
I remember it being like, you guys would be like, it tastes exactly the same. And I was like, it does not. And then I like showed Dave or like both of you guys what real Mountain Dew. Or
Well,
like,
I had
what
real Mountain Dew. It's not like you were like the
okay,
first
but you
person
act
that
like we're like born
introduced me to
into
Mountain Dew.
like yeah. It wasn't until we met Jesse that we saw the face of God and drank real soda.
but yes, I have since changed from being 15 or 12 or however old I was, and I appreciate certain brands of sodas more than other knockoffs.
I hate Mountain Dew.
Mountain Dew's
you
disgusting.
hate Mountain Dew?
Yeah, it's
Why?
gross.
It makes me feel sick.
Mountain Dew
Baja
makes me go
Blast?
poopy.
Oh, Baja Blast.
Baja
is good.
Blast is the only Mountain Dew that I like.
They've made so I've been looking for. They have alcoholic Mountain Dew now.
Oh,
Oh, that's
I've been on the hunt for it for a while, and I
Can't
think
you
I
just
would
mix
never find it.
Can't you just
vodka
make your own?
and Mountain Dew and call it good?
I
Or,
wouldn't know
or
if I
call
would
it
actually-
drinkable.
I feel like Jesse wants the actual brand. Like,
No, I want to
No
try.
off-brand stuff.
I want to try the Mountain Dew.
Name brand.
Only Grey
alcoholic
Goose.
Mountain
And
Has
special
any
limited
soda ever
edition.
done that?
Dew.
I feel like I've never heard of like Dr. Pepper with
Because I feel like it
margarita mix or something.
I feel like it mostly turns into like Mike's Hard Lemonade or like just harder alcohol. I don't know if that makes any sense. But this is the first soda product that I've heard.
Yeah,
of
I haven't
that
heard of
actually
that before.
I have a hard time with those kind of things, like the Mike's, like the Mike's lemonades. Like those are good, but like there's so much sugar that I feel like I'm gonna like throw up before I get even buzzed.
Are you a fan of like rum and cokes?
Yeah.
Okay,
Those are good.
so I found. Welcome to the last like year of my life.
What is
I-
rum and Coke?
I drove. So I
Every night.
I
A
dove
2-liter
down.
of Coke and a fifth of rum.
And Taco Bell.
Taco Bell.
Maybe Taco Bell isn't the problem.
Yeah. It's the 18
It's
mixed drinks.
alcoholism. But I fell down a bit of a drinking hole.
She's gonna say some stairs or
That's funny.
after my drinking.
My mom was like, "Are you okay?" And I said, "I have cerebral palsy."
But Jack Daniels makes a rum and coke that they premix, and you don't even taste the alcohol at all.
Yeah, that's a pretty hard drink to
Pretty
make. on your own.
dangerous.
So yeah, getting it canned is probably.
It's in the glass bottle.
It's in a glass bottle. Wait, the Coke is?
No, well,
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in like a 6-pack.
they're all really like it's so good. It's dangerous for me.
Yeah, that's not like really. Is it really a rum and Coke or is it a.
It's black cherry coke or black cherry and rum.
I've seen those. It looked interesting.
You should try them.
Yeah, rum and Coke is like a really. I was joking when I said it's
It's
a
a very
complicated drink to make because it's really.
Oh, really?
Simple.
You were
Very
joking?
simple, but it's so simple. It's dangerous.
That's
Like,
that's like the boss level of
Drink to
drink.
make. 2 ingredients.
What is
Ratios are really important.
half and half?
Oh no.
No, like you use half and half in there. That's the secret ingredient.
Oh,
I bet
well,
that
like
actually
White
would be really
Russians,
good.
like are kind of like that, but there's no soda.
I don't
right?
I don't really like White Russians that much.
Racist.
Didn't you fell down
It's
the
a sign of wealth.
You can't just say that to everything that's said, Landon.
It's the get out of jail free card.
What was your drink of choice like when you actually started drinking?
Probably like when I first started. I mean, I liked Mike's hard lemonades when I
White
first
Claw?
started. No.
Oh my god, White Claw's disgusting.
I like old fashions.
Yeah,
those all from the
that's
get
what it
go.
was.
I like margaritas a lot too.
Especially the ones from Olive Garden.
No, I got this
Bottomless
drink,
margaritas every Tuesday night.
I got this
Used to be
drink
like that.
at this restaurant downtown last week. It was some kind of tequila drink, but it had like blood orange puree in it, like with like a few other ingredients, and it was like, oh my god, it was like the best drink I've ever had.
So on our Vegas trip, we went to this like really cool like underground bar. It was underneath the
The Mom
a speak-
Museum.
The Mob Museum.
yeah, the Mob Museum.
So was it?
Yeah, it was speakeasy.
Is it speakeasy?
I can't remember what
Those are
the
super
drink was, but I think I got it with Will and I got it, and it was so good. It had like the white egg,
Oh yeah, egg white in it.
Egg white in
yeah,
it.
that's great.
and I wish I could remember what it was called because it was like really good.
Yeah, egg white is like a great. It just really helps the texture of a drink.
Yeah, I mean, if you just hear that, it doesn't sound good, but it definitely works.
Yeah, especially in like a whiskey, like in a whiskey sour, like with or with, like it changes the drink entirely.
Do you guys enjoy Vegas?
It's a lot.
I
I like it though.
overall it was fun. I don't know if I need to like I want to go back to Vegas type of thing. Like I'd rather do a cruise for a vacation. Which a lot of ways is kind of like Vegas on the sea. A lot of similarities, but
I've never been on a cruise.
oh gosh, we have to go on a cruise. Right, Dave? Cruises are fun.
I like cruises. I think they're fun. There's other kinds of vacations that are different enough that like I like some variety, but there is something about a cruise that that can be a lot of fun.
Did you ever find out what the biggest Norwegian cruise ship is?
Out of the blue, Mick texted me the other day and he said, "What's the biggest Norwegian ship?" Like I just knew it. So I said,
Well, didn't you guys go on it?
"Well, we went on the biggest one 6 years ago. They have since built other ships that are bigger."
Which one was it?
Do you know that for
The one we went on was called the Escape, but our aunt told us don't go on the biggest one, go on one of the smaller ones because they're less busy and there's less people on them and it's way more easy to enjoy yourself. Because the bigger ships, what they tend to have, it's just more decks of staterooms. So it's actually
really?
better to go on not the biggest ship because it just means more people.
I want to drive the biggest ship.
Okay.
My parents go on
wealth.
my parents go on cruises like every year for their anniversary,
The sign of wealth.
and they are always like, "We're gonna take you guys on a cruise. We're gonna take you guys on a cruise one year. We're gonna take you guys on a cruise one year," and we just
And
never
they never
have.
did it.
Haven't you? I thought you've been.
And your
on a
parents-
cruise. Have you ever been on a cruise?
I have never set foot on a boat in a cruising fashion.
I was like,
I've also been
never
to.
been on a boat.
I've also
Cerebral
only
Palsy, man. Come on.
I've also only been to Vegas one time when I was 18.
What a waste. Like when you're 18.
Oh, I remember when you did
Yep.
that. That sounded so dumb.
Gotta
to
see
me.
Criss
was.
Angel.
Back in the day, dude, Criss Angel was
Stupid.
stupid.
He was always stupid.
Jesse was so obsessed with Criss Angel.
I was.
It was weird.
It was because he was doing magic on TV, and I thought it was real. Okay,
Wait, it's not real.
it's not.
You thought it was real at 18?
No, but back in the day when he had like a TV show called Mind Freak, and it ran for like 3 seasons.
Are you telling me that the trick where he pulls two people apart and they like walk around on their legs is fake?
No. Which also, I mean, so I couldn't do anything going through, like, I could literally just walk through to get places. I wasn't allowed to, like, spend any time on the casino floor.
You can't even, or I don't know what it was when you were here, but the casinos here, you have to be 21 to gamble, not 18.
Yeah. Well, when I went to Vegas, it was still 21, so they wouldn't even let me, like, stop at a machine or anything. But how do you guys feel about, like, gambling and stuff? Because I feel like I wouldn't be...
I have no interest in gambling.
I like cards, like playing like blackjack and stuff is fun, but it's such a like a waste of money, really. Like I like that. I like
Slots are like worth it though.
yeah, slots are definitely worth it. So you can just shut your brain off.
Pull lever.
I like sports betting though. I will say that. I try not to do it too often because I like it too much. Well, no, I like it too. Like I like it a lot. Like I like the feeling of like trying to like put together like a parlay bet. It's not good.
You haven't won anything from it?
No, I haven't. Of course not.
Oh my gosh. I feel like
but it seems like there's a little bit more skill involved in it. Like, you know what I mean?
That seems more like a sign of wealth too, like
It
betting
does, yeah.
horse race or something.
Yeah, like as I always said, like when I'm like retired after like my slumlord days, you know, and I'm just, you know,
You got to get the like straw fedora, the
Hawaiian shirt
that has
one
like
too many
two
buttons,
buttons,
a drink in my hand,
in a pocket.
giant cigar.
and I'm like the guy. I'm the guy at the track that like I'm there, and people are like, "Go talk to Landon. He knows what horse to bet.
He knows.
He knows what's going on. He's at the stables every Tuesday and Thursday watching the horses run. He knows all the trainers. He knows all the jockeys.
I just picture the guy from UHF, the uncle.
Oh yeah.
Rodeo Drive. You haven't seen UHF, have you, Landon?
No,
It's been so long.
Yeah, it's
So long since I've seen that movie.
So funny.
I'm the guy at the track that all the young trust fund kids will show up and they like make fun of me because I'm standing there, but then I always clean them out, you know, because I know the horses. I know the track.
Yep, you've been around.
Yeah.
This is literally not you at all.
This will be Landon 3.0.
Yeah. This is
Landon's comeback season.
yeah. This will be
No,
future
Landon's
Landon.
obsolete after 2.0. There cannot be a Landon 3.0.
There's no compatible.
No,
updates.
that's not allowed.
I feel like you could start betting in fantasy football, though. I feel like fantasy football
Oh, God.
has...
A lot of
I feel
people
like I'm-
like kind of do gambling and stuff. Like there's like weekly stuff. You can like weekly pick'ems and things people do.
Yeah.
Yes.
A lot of people
Yeah,
are
you
in
can put
like
on it.
money leagues. Like Landon was in a
yeah.
money fantasy league. He also lost
My
money there
ideal-
too.
Yeah, my ideal graduation from fantasy football will be that I eventually don't play anymore, and then I just do like a weekly parlay bet every week on like a set of games.
A week
Isn't that still
parlay
playing?
every week?
It is, but it's not like playing with other people. It'll just be like me betting on game outcomes and not like
Blend it in a blender.
blend it in a blender.
How does Landon go broke in 5 years?
Homemade at home.
Well, if I'm smart with the money, Jesse, and if I win, then I won't lose anything. I'll be rich.
Okay, so how soon?
What are your thoughts on Vegas and betting and gambling and all that stuff?
So I've spent a little bit of time in the Coeur d'Alene casino for a friend's
Coeur
birthday.
d'Alene Casino.
Yeah.
Are those commercials
And-
still on?
Just the beginning.
Yes.
Oh, God.
They changed the jingle up a little bit, though.
Winning is just the beginning.
But
At
yeah.
the Coeur d'Alene Casino.
So my friend invited me to go to the casino with him for his birthday, and like we all sat around the card table just playing cards, and I was like, I'm not having any fun at all. It's terrible.
Are
Like,
you losing money?
yeah. And so I actually ended up just coming up with an excuse for why I had to leave.
Cerebral Palsy.
Yeah.
This was before.
Yeah, when you lose like $100 bet or whatever, you're like, no, you can't take my money.
But yeah, I came up with an excuse. I can't remember what the excuse was. It was a few years ago. But I came up with an excuse for why I had to leave.
My electric scooter needs me.
Got to charge
And
it.
I just ended up giving him like $100 and was like, "Hey, happy birthday! I gotta go."
Yeah, I'll play like I don't know if I'm there. Like my old when I worked at Market, they did like a yearly Christmas party at the one out in Airway Heights. What's that one?
The
Quest
Quest.
Casino?
Yeah, Quest.
Yeah.
And like after the party's done, like a lot of people just go out and like play blackjack or something. So like I played like blackjack with a few people, and like I was up actually. Like I was up like I'd like doubled my money, and then I was like. I wasn't really playing to win, so I did
Risk it all.
I did like one last hand and put like $100 on the hand and lost, and I was like, oh, well, I'm done. Like broke even. But I played for like an hour and was like, didn't lose anything, which is fun. But then like you still just feel kind of sick after you're done. I don't know. It's not really for me. I don't think.
Nah.
Some people really like it though, but I think it's like I don't know if people actually like playing or if they're actually like I think if you're actually playing to try to win money, then I don't think that like you should do it.
I feel like when we were kids, or when I was a kid, so my grandparents used to always be at the casino and everything. So much so that when my grandma died, my grandpa
Buried her at the casino.
no, my grandpa actually
Turn my ashes into dice.
made his
Turn my ashes into poker chips.
Like
Make sure they're loaded.
Yeah.
turned his basement into like he had a slot machine down there. He had a pool table. He had a couple pinball machines, and it was just like
Heck yeah.
a gaming thing. And I actually got relatively decent at that one slot machine.
Wait, what do
You
you
can't
mean
get good
decent
at a
at
slot
the slot
machine.
machine?
You can't get good at it. You can't get good at a slot
I got
machine.
good at
if
pulling the lever.
If you do it enough.
It's all in the
But-
fingers.
His slot machine was so loud. Anytime he hit a jackpot, the thing would go off for like 5-10 minutes.
Yeah, because it's supposed to like appeal to like the monkey brain
Yeah.
in you. Like, the lights start flashing. Like, oh man,
One more time.
yeah,
Just one more.
yeah.
Just one more.
In reality, like you're like, oh, I won $100 tonight, but like all in all, you're down like $8,000 in the past year at the casino. Like,
I remember asking my grandpa if I could keep the money that I won from the machine, and he's like, "No,
wait, what?
you got to feed it back into the machine because all the money I have, well, not all of it.
Everything.
He put
Everything.
I put my savings in there.
That's my sign of wealth.
no, but yeah. So I got really good at his specific one slot machine.
It still doesn't make any sense.
You didn't get good at it.
You played it enough to where you got the
My
jackpot
win-loss
multiple times.
ratio, was astronomically terrible.
Just do it at the casino, then go pick one machine and just get really good at it.
I feel like I would go broke way too fast.
You probably would,
Yeah.
That's the lesson
'Cause
here, Jesse. That's the lesson.
because the casinos wouldn't be open if the people won.
I mean, the house
Yep.
has to lose every once in a while.
No, the house always wins.
The house always wins. The house only has to get you down to 0 one time.
Yeah, if one person out of like the 10,000 people that goes there makes $100,000, but the casino, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I guess it all evens out.
no,
No, it doesn't even out.
It doesn't even out.
It's not.
That does not even out. That's the point. Like,
It's highly weighted in one direction.
yeah, there's a reason that they like just hand people free drinks. Like they're like, and the food's cheap at the casinos, and like everything. You know what I mean? Like, there's a reason
Yeah.
they want you to keep pumping money into the machines.
Yep.
It's predatory.
Yeah.
So who wants to go tonight?
Yeah.
I'm feeling lucky.
Their buffet's good. They have a good seafood buffet.
I've never eaten. I hate
Landon's
buffets.
anti-buffet.
Really?
You don't know how to use a buffet.
No, it's just
How do you correctly use a buffet, Mick?
buffet is not a sign of wealth.
You go there and you enjoy it. You just shut up and you shovel food in.
I don't like doing that. I like paying for a portion amount of food.
How many
Landon's
plates
Landon's
on
way to go to a
average?
buffet is he goes to a buffet, complains the whole time, and then complains afterwards. That's
Yes.
Landon's buffet
I
experience.
hate buffets. I hate buffet. I hate them.
You guys remember when Cannon Buffet? We used to go to Cannon
Yes.
Buffet like all the time.
Canaan buffet.
Canaan, whatever.
Canon.
I can't believe no one died from eating there. To be honest,
It was good food.
I know,
was
but
like-
like it. I would. Would you go back in that kitchen? You think if you went back in that kitchen, do you think you'd still eat the food?
Why,
No,
Landon?
probably.
Landon, what are you insinuating here?
I've actually just heard specific stories that like place is like.
You need to bleep that name, Dave.
What about other buffets? Like,
I don't like other buffets either.
Golden Crow is pretty good.
I had like a panic attack in the line for Golden Corral like that one time.
You're insane.
Panic
It was the
attack.
one
What?
time Landon was like,
It was like your
okay,
birthday,
Mick,
too.
it's
Like,
your
well,
birthday.
we can
Let's go to someplace you want to go. We get there in line and Landon's like, no.
I
no,
couldn't do it.
no,
I was like,
no,
literally
no,
having a
no, 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 no. I gotta go. I can't handle this.
I feel like I don't eat enough for the cost to even.
that's
out.
probably true for you.
Yeah. I'll go and have like a plate, maybe two, maybe 1.5 before I'm like, no, I'm done. I can't eat anymore.
I just feel like it encourages gluttony.
In you or in other people?
I feel like in other people.
So you're
see,
trying
like,
to
the
take
family-
away other people's happiness? Is that what you're doing?
Wow.
It's a sign of wealth to take away other people's happiness.
I think they just want the title of the episode to be the.
What, Jesse? Huh?
Yeah, I'm
It's a
not
sign of
naming it
wealth.
that, by the way.
No,
Please
name
don't.
it Jesse's. Name it Jesse has cerebral palsy.
The prodigal son has cerebral palsy. No, I'm just-
Version of the Bible are you reading?
the one that I wrote,
The cerebral palsy version.
Yeah.
the disability version.
I would read a version of the Bible written by Jesse just to see what he like what he does.
Get behind me, Satan.
Yeah,
I have cerebral
nobody.
palsy. Instead of leprosy, like he was stricken with cerebral palsy.
In the beginning, there was cerebral palsy.
What
Oh
the
my god!
gosh?
Oh man.
Great.
Goodness. So, Dave, you prepare a quiz for us?
I do have a
this
quiz
week?
for us. So this is part 3 of our 4-part quiz.
Oh boy.
I can't wait to get any of the answers.
Do you guys know? So do you guys remember? So we did a quiz on the executive departments, and then we did a Department of the Interior quiz, and now we're doing a. Do you know what office of the Department of the Interior we're talking about today?
What office are we talking about?
It's the National
Dave?
Park Service. Do you guys know much about the National Park Service? Or
Everybody cheered.
so the National Park Service, they have like 11 different types of essentially parks that they manage.
No way.
So I just have a quiz that has to do with those different kinds of things that they manage. So they're split up into 2 primary distinctions. They have natural values and importance in history. So most of this is stuff I took directly from the National Park Service website. So a lot of the questions are influenced by things that they mention on their website. So the natural values, they are areas that add to the national park system for their natural values. They are expanses or features of land or water of great scenic and scientific quality, and are usually designated as national parks, monuments, preserves, seashores, lakeshores, or riverways. So areas contain one or more distinctive attributes like forests, grasslands, tundra, deserts, estuaries, or river systems. They may contain windows on the past for a view of geological history, and they may contain imposing landforms like mountains, mesas, thermal areas, and caverns, and they may be habitats of abundance or rare wildlife and plant life. So the one you guys are probably most aware of are national parks. So national parks, there are 63 of those. They contain a variety of resources and encompass large lands or water areas to help provide adequate protection of the resources. They are considered the crown jewels of the National Park Service. So there are national parks, but there's also a lot of other kind of distinctions. So can you guys name just one national park?
Mount Rainier.
Mount Rainier. Good job, Landon. Some others would be like...
I've been there.
Yeah, you have.
Yellowstone.
We've been there together. Yeah, some others would be like Yellowstone, Grand Canyon, or Zion. So, but the actual national park quiz,
You
that'll
name
be
the rest of them?
No.
I feel like he has a list in front of him.
That'll be the last quiz we do, and that's the whole reason I made all these other quizzes, because I wanted to make a national park quiz. So, second distinction is called a national monument. There are 85 of those. They're intended to preserve at least one nationally significant cultural or natural resource. They're usually smaller than a national park, and it lacks the diversity of attractions that national parks have. So, this butte is famously depicted in Steven Spielberg's 1977 film Close Encounters of the Third Kind. So what national monument is this?
This means something.
Yes.
Multiple choice?
It does mean something. Mick, do you know the name of it?
No, I don't.
But you know what I'm talking about, right?
I don't.
Yeah, I can picture it in my mind.
Okay.
I can also picture it in mashed potato form.
It's called Devil's Tower National Monument.
Oh, that one.
It's in Wyoming. Other national monuments are the Statue of Liberty and Craters of the Moon National Monument in Idaho. Next kind is called a national preserve or a reserve. They're primarily for the protection of certain resources, but activities like hunting and fishing or extraction of minerals and fuels may be permitted if they do not jeopardize natural values. They operate very similar to national parks, and sometimes they even share a name of a national park. National reserves are separate from preserves, and they can be managed by local or state authorities instead of federal. So one of the most remote National Park Service areas, this one is located on the Seward Peninsula in Alaska. It protects a remnant of a land bridge that connected Asia with North America more than 13,000 years ago.
Wait, what? Wait.
Do you know the name?
There was a bridge from Alaska to Asia?
Yes, a land bridge. And
Shut-
sometimes it connects back up with ice.
Dude.
Do you know the name of that land bridge or that area?
Kamchatka.
There's a strait that's also called this.
Kamchatka Strait. The Strait of Kamchatka.
Oh my god.
Mick, do you remember?
I don't. You can literally walk it.
Yeah.
I've looked at it before, but I don't remember.
Walk
the name
from
of it.
Alaska to Asia.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
It
Gosh,
is
I don't
the
remember.
Bering land bridge, like the Bering Strait.
The Bering Strait.
Other national preserves would be like Glacier National Bay or Glacier Bay National Preserve, the Mojave National Preserve, or City of Rocks National Reserve. Next one is called National Lake Shores or Seashores. They focus on preservation of natural values while at the other time providing water-oriented recreation. So the seashore of this geographic cape, which extends into the Atlantic Ocean from the southeastern corner of Massachusetts, was also the landing site of the Mayflower in 1620. It's a cape.
Oh wait, say the question.
Cape Canaveral.
No, say it again. Say the question again.
Seashore that extends from southeastern corner of Massachusetts. You know that big like hook of Massachusetts? It's this cape, and it's where the Mayflower landed. Do you know the name of that cape?
Cape
Cod.
It is Cape Cod National Seashore. Other kinds are like Pictured Rocks National Lake Shore, which is in Lake Superior. And I've been to Pictured Rocks, and it's very pretty. Next one is National River, Wild and Scenic River and Riverways. They preserve free-flowing streams and their immediate environment with at least one outstandingly remarkable natural, cultural, or recreational value. They must flow naturally without major alterations of the waterway by dams, diversion, or otherwise alterations. Besides protecting and enhancing rivers, these areas provide opportunities for outdoor activities like hiking, canoeing, and hunting. So this river, which originates in south central Colorado, frames the entire border of Mexico and Texas. What river separates Texas and Mexico? It's a very big, long river.
The Nile.
Jesse, you were born in Texas.
The Gulf of... Yes, I was. I did not spend any time.
It is the Rio Grande Wild and Scenic River... or Wild and Scenic Riverway. Others are like the Upper Delaware or the Ozark National Scenic Riverways. Last natural one are called National Scenic Trails. So they are generally long-distance footpaths winding through areas of natural beauty. So this 2,200-mile hiking trail from Georgia to Maine traverses 14 states in total.
Is that the Bicentennial?
No.
Or...
Appalachian.
It is the Appalachian National Scenic Trail.
Yeah.
Other examples are like the Potomac Heritage National Scenic Trail. So other than National Park Service also has places that are important in history. So although best known for its great scenic parks, over half of the areas in the national park system preserve places and commemorate persons, events, and activities important in the nation's history. These range from archaeological sites associated with prehistoric Indian civilizations to sites related to the lives of modern Americans. Historical areas are customarily preserved or restored to reflect their appearance during the period of their greatest historical significance. So the next type of area are called National Historic Parks, historic sites, or international historic sites. So these protect a significant cultural resource that is not a complicated site. National Historic Parks are larger areas than most complex subjects than like national historic sites. So this birthplace of the U.S. president most commonly associated with the National Park Service.
Theodore Roosevelt?
Yes, it's the Theodore Roosevelt National Historic Site. So his nickname was the Conservation President. He doubled the number of sites within the National Park Service while he was in office. And he also signed the Antiquities Act, which authorized himself and future presidents to proclaim and reserve historic landmarks, historic and prehistoric structures, and other objects of historic or scientific interest.
Once I become president, I'm going to make my house a historic site.
Yeah. So other ones are like the New Orleans
The
Jazz.
birth of Hotkeys.
The New Orleans Jazz National Historic Park, Valley Forge National Historic Park, and St. Croix Island International Historic Site. Next type is national memorials. These are areas primarily that are commemorative. They need not be sites or structures historically associated with their subjects. So, for example, the home of Abraham Lincoln is in Springfield, Illinois. That's a National Historic Site. But the Lincoln Memorial is in D.C., and that's a national memorial. So this colossal structure in the Black Hills of South Dakota, sometimes referred to as the Shrine of Democracy. It's featured in such hit films as Team America, World Police, North by Northwest, and National Treasure, Book of Secrets.
Oh, damn it.
Mount Rushmore.
It is Mount Rushmore National Memorial. Other memorials are Washington Monument and the Flight 93.
That was in Wild Wild West?
What?
That was in Wild Wild West, you said?
No,
North
by Northwest.
Oh, North by Northwest. I was like, I don't remember it. Wild Wild West.
Others like the Flight 93 National Memorial. Do you guys know the four presidents that are on the on Mount Rushmore?
Washington, right? Washington, Lincoln.
Yep.
Jefferson.
Yep.
Adams.
His birthplace was mentioned previously.
Teddy
Roosevelt. Next one are called National
we
Parkways.
We should add
Trump.
We should add
We should add
Biden.
us.
Trump and Biden. We should add
Trump and Biden
Oh my
on either
God.
side.
We need to put,
Yeah,
we need
on
to put
either
us
side,
up
yeah.
there. Hotkeys.
Next
sign of
classification.
wealth.
Stop. Next classification are called national parkways.
These
These
thing about National Treasure too.
I put that in there for you, Landon.
And you didn't get it.
Great performances.
National parkways. They encompass ribbons of land that flank roadways and offer an opportunity for driving through areas of scenic interest. They are not designed for high-speed travel. So this 470-mile-long parkway, which runs through eastern Virginia and North Carolina, connects Shenandoah National Park and Great Smoky Mountains National Park. It shares the name with a mountain range in Virginia, which is notably used in the John Denver song, Take Me Home, Country Roads.
To the place.
Mountain Mama.
Mountain Mama.
No, it's a mountain range. It says blank, blank mountains. And then I think it says Shenandoah River.
Mountain highs. Mountain high. Country. Take me home.
To the place.
Okay, it's Blue Ridge. Blue Ridge Mountains. Blue Ridge Parkway. Another parkway is the George Washington Memorial Parkway. Next is national recreation areas. These are originally they surrounded reservoirs that were impounded by dams built by other federal agencies. The concepts of national recreation areas has since grown to encompass other lands and waters set aside for recreational use by acts of Congress, and now includes major areas in urban centers as well. So this lake, which is the third deepest in the U.S. and the deepest in Washington state, means deep water in
Lake
Salish.
Chelan.
It is Lake Chelan. So Lake Chelan, National Recreation
I've been
Area. Some others are Lake Mead National Recreation Area, which is near Vegas, and then Golden Gate National Recreation Area, which is just north of the Golden Gate Bridge. And then last are national military parks, battlefields, battlefield park, battlefield site, and battlefields. So there's a wide variety of titles used for areas associated with American military history. The different designations reflect the complexity of the event and the site. So in this battle, Union Major General George Meade's Army of the Potomac defeated attacks by Confederate General Robert E. Lee of Northern Virginia, halting Lee's invasion of the North. The battle involved the largest number of casualties of the entire Civil War and is often described as the war's turning point due to the Union's decisive victory and concurrence with the siege of Vicksburg.
This would be Gettysburg.
This is
correct?
Gettysburg National Military Park. So others is Manassas National Battlefield, Bryce's Crossroads, and Petersburg. There's also a last designation, which just is called Other. The National Park Service website calls it that. So there's 11 of these. They don't really fit into any of the other categories. So one of them, its address is 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, Northwest in Washington, D.C. Do you know what that is?
That's the White House.
That is the White House. The White House is part of the National Park Service. Other things that are in that other...
Why?
Don't know. It's part of the National Park Service. The National Mall and Memorial Parks also are part of that designation. The National Park Service also works with other agencies too, so they work in conjunction with others for the National Historic Trail. So this is my final question. These are original trails or routes of travel of national historic significance. So there's 30 of these. This series of forced displacements of approximately 60,000 indigenous peoples of the, quote, 5 civilized tribes, unquote, between 1830 and 1850 by the U.S. government. What trail is this?
Oregon Trail. I don't know.
Lewis and Clark?
No, this is a forced displacement. The displacement of
I
approximately...
zoned out. I was looking up Civil War battles.
Forced displacement of approximately 60,000 indigenous peoples in the 1830s to 1850s.
Trail of Tears.
It's the Trail of Tears,
The
National
Trail
Historic
of
Trail.
Tears.
Some other historic trails are Selma to Montgomery and the Mormon Pioneer National Historic Trail.
Mormon.
So,
You
I guess
diseducated
last
moron.
tidbit. The National Park Service, they manage locations in every state, the District of Columbia, American Samoa, Guam, Puerto Rico, and the Virgin Islands, with 423 areas in total, all covering more than 85 million acres, which is equivalent of the state of Pennsylvania, New York, and South Carolina combined, or 90% of Montana. So if you take 90% of Montana, that's all the National Park Service lands. So that is the National Park Service, and we'll have one more quiz probably in a few weeks, which will actually cover actual national parks. So good job.
I got one right.
I got like 3, I think. 3 or 4.
I got them all.
You did.
Good job,
Head.
Nick.
Nailed it.
All right. Well, thanks for the quiz, Dave.
You're welcome.
And thanks, Jesse, for being here.
Absolutely.
Where can people find you, Jesse?
I'm not on social media anymore.
The FedEx building.
FedEx
Yeah,
building.
go to the FedEx building and ask for Jesse.
No last name required.
I will probably be the one that helps you out because that's usually what they did with me.
They did with you.
Mm-hmm.
They forced you to do things like at the desk that you're like didn't want to do.
I was literally a FedEx greeter for a couple weeks.
Hi, welcome to FedEx. My name's Jesse.
Can I help you with anything?
Yep.
They're like, "Here's my package. Ship it, please." And you're like, "I can't do that. I have cerebral palsy."
All right. Well, thanks for listening. We'll be back next week. Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of the Hotkeys podcast. You can find us on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, CastBox, YouTube, and other podcasting platforms. Visit our website, www.hotkeyspodcast.com. Follow us on Twitter at Hotkeys Podcast and join our Facebook group at facebook.com/HKHotkeys. Please like and review us and subscribe to the show on whichever platforms you use. Finally, you can contact us via email at hosts@hotkeyspodcast.com.